All right, all right. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today's not the spiciest of spice today. It's pretty much looking at some continuation, same pattern we were looking at yesterday. But it's the early it's the early part of August, and so we're going to be streaming all the time anyway. We've got some stuff to look at. I have a projection. I noticed a pattern or a fractal possibility I want to take a look at here. We'll scrounge around, try to find some other stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the altcoin thing. I don't really put out content on altcoins, but I just uploaded it. Best altcoins to buy in August 2021. And we take a monthly look at altcoins across the market, kind of just a blanket surface look. Typically, that's patron-only content, but there's a little teaser for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. So let's start the show. Bam. Here we are. All right, let's first check out that fractal. How about that? Definitely also, guys, let me know how you felt about that content. Let me know how you feel about, we did that premiere type thing and redirected here. Went pretty well. It took a lot of kind of juggling on my end, but I got it. It worked out. It was pretty smooth. I thought it was cool. We're just trailblazers, like they were saying in chat. Our TA is trailblazing. So is our use of the platform. Going to keep pushing the boundaries. So into the fractal, into the Bitcoin chart. Let's pull up something new. It's what, August 3rd, something like that. There we go. There we go. All right, pull up the Bitcoin chart and let's just trash it. Let's trash it, starting new. So what I'm looking at, this may not ring with you, but it does with me. And so feedback welcomed as always. I'm looking more and more at January. January, not only is the price the same, but we had a similar sentiment. We had similar bearish outlooks, low calls, a little bit of hopelessness. Definitely not quite what we've seen lately, but nonetheless, enough where I'm looking, keeping my eyes open. As a good trader, we're always trying to find some kind of new edge, something that can help us make trades. So here we are. I'm looking at this, and while admittedly not exactly the same, what I'm looking at specifically is right here. What happened at this reversal? Even how did these lows look? What kind of price action did we see? And what I noticed the other day, or last night, is we have some similarities actually. We have a low, a lower low, then a higher low, okay? We have some kind of rally here, and then a higher high that gets sold off, and a higher low. And so, not to say this is exactly what's going to happen with Bitcoin now, we may look for similarities, and those similarities may help us make trades. And so here's what we're looking at. Real zoomed out. Let's just take a peek. It's really kind of similar. We start with a low, the initial sell-off. Then we have a lower low. We don't have really that combination of highs yet here kind of thing going on. But what we do have is a higher low. We have our lowest point is in the middle. That is a similarity between these two. Starting to draw like a Bart Simpson face or something. Let's give him a smile. So we have a low, lower low, then a higher low. And then we rally and get sold off. So we have a lot of this so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we have a high. We might have skipped this part. Maybe it's just not perfect. But now what I'm starting to think is maybe this was actually when Elon Musk tweeted, market rallied and instantly sold off. Maybe this is part of the structure that we're seeing again. We were talking about yesterday these likely price points that we would look for if we see continued selling. We did break our low of the 30th of July. We were hoping not to. On smaller time frames, we're going to see a head and shoulders potentially paint out. We'll take a look at that as well. This phase is cracking me up, guys. All right. So the similarities here, I think, are enough to give it some attention. So here's the original fit. No, that's not the chart. Here's the original fit that I did. And so what I did is I took the ghost bar tool from here, starting from, I believe this was the first point. I took it from this low and I matched it to this low, okay? And what we see is something that looks a good amount like price. Something looks a lot like price. So we have this high. I guess on smaller time frames is more visible. So it's not as pronounced as we saw previously. But what this fractal would suggest, if we follow it, and we're going to have many points of invalidation. If we go higher, it's invalidated. If we go, I would say honestly, if we break too far underneath right here, it's invalidated. And certainly it's invalidated if we break our lows. But what's cool about it is it lines up really well with our chart. It's not perfect. Patterns, fractals are never perfect. But what this would suggest is that this rally is the same as that Elon tweet. And then what we would look for is for the market to sell off. Now, this could be a lot of speculation. However, what we're seeing here, I know people are getting bearish on this price action, but what we're seeing here is something that breaks to the upside almost every time. Almost every time. So I'm looking for a retracement and a bounce. The bounce may not bring us higher, may not continue up, but this pattern here with these red candles, very smooth descending trend lines, that breaks up. That is a momentum leg. All right. So that matches up with what we might see here on this fractal. So the fractal would suggest that we're going to move back to that 35,000 level, 34.6 in that range. Let's actually grab the exact value. Okay, so the daily is at 34.6 and then the weekly. So I'm going to take it from the weekly, 34.7. Looking to come back and test that support. That's literally what we were talking about yesterday. We said, man, 2 days ago, let's preface it this way. We saw higher time frames with some strong momentum, some strong confidence. Our smaller time frames were saying, nope, not yet. We saw that play out. Our longer, and when I say longer, I'm saying like 4 to 12 hours, like really not very long, but still longer time frames, then showing a little weakness. We broke through 39.3, or not 39.3, the, where is this? Right here. We broke through the wick low right here. And so we said if that happens, because this hadn't happened yet, then we would look for potential head and shoulders. So we may have that here. We're only missing one thing, and that would be the back test of the neckline. You could argue maybe it happened here, but I think this is too sloppy. But this pattern, if we do see a back test here and rejection, especially, that will be the that'll be the trade. That'll be the head and shoulders technical trade right there. If we see that back test, then we're gonna start looking for this 35 area. That's really what we talked about anyway. It's all lining up. TA is always a ongoing quest. There's no such thing as knowing. There's only those who can adapt and those who cannot. That's it. So we're adapting. This is following the down route that we were looking for. Potentially. But this is going to break to the upside. This movement, just this really local pattern. This. I'm not saying we're going to a jillion. I'm saying this won't continue down like this forever. And it even looks pretty solid for it to come back test, and then reject. If it's able to make it back above the neckline, then we're fine. Then this pattern, then the inverse head and shoulders would be invalidated. Actually, this looks really good now. Like that. If we're able to break up through here, then it's invalidated. That's what it's all about. We're looking for stuff, and we're creating validation and invalidation points. For me, if we see a sell-off and we bounce from 35, I'm going to be very convinced that this is what is happening. You know, this is this is like the most recent recovery from a low that we've seen. That's in January. And it has similarities. And what we're seeing on our indicators is reinforcing the similarities for me. I don't always go after patterns like this, but if I have a reason to, and the pattern is starting to look similar, then I go for it. That's what I'm speculating here. This is pretty solid. So if we're all going according to plan, here's what we would see on our new plan, because we're adjusting. Trash everything. What we would see is this, and that 34 is likely just around the 35 area, like 35 to 34.7. We would then look for our first signal that this is happening, which is this can keep moving down. It doesn't really matter how far it goes. It could, in theory, go all the way down, but I think that's unlikely. So I expect this to move down, continue that coiled tight price action in that descending channel or descending wedge, whatever you want to call it. Then I want to see a break to the upside. I don't want to see the neckline, 38 38.4 broken in this event. And I want to see a rejection and a movement to 35. At 35, we better find some bids. We better see a bounce. Got to move back up. Retake 38.3, 38.4. And then the last thing I need to confirm that this pattern in my mind is what's happening is we need to come up and break the highs. We need to come back to August 1st's high at 32.6. So this pattern, does this look all right? Does this look like something possible? Because if that happens, it begins to look a lot like January. A lot like January. And if it does, here's what's ahead. It's like the sell-off to the lows, some consolidation, and then that slow rally, probably a threat of a double top. Now, I remember that. People were screaming double top here. Freaking weirdos. Just yelling double top in the chat. Double top, double top. And it's like, dude, there's literally no double top. You're just, I don't know what you're doing. Let's get rid of this. Okay, boom. The magnet's trolling me today. All right, there we are. So basically, it's to mimic this pattern. It's we fell from a high, we hit a low. We did some kind of bounce. We hit a lower low. We hit another bounce, and then this is where it starts making sense. Is the only reason I'm pointing it out is then we did not make it a lower low. We made a higher low, and then we moved to a higher high. We have pretty much this so far. We are looking for it to come down to that 35 area. And then we want it to bounce, retest, and so that's like 42.6 area, and then continue. So that would make it really, really similar. What you see here is a rounded bottom. That's what we're going to hope for. We've kind of been talking about that, having our fingers crossed for a long time about that, for some kind of rounding bottom. Maybe we are going to see a repeat. I don't know. I'm just following the chart day to day, keeping you guys up to date. I like this, though. I like this. This isn't really threatening. It gives you a bunch of different points that are actionable price points if we reach them. And it's tradable. There's tradable price points here. I'm not going to tell you how to trade them. We don't give financial advice here on YouTube. But I'm sharing my ideas with you. And I don't think there's really that much outside of this that's new today. We'll start with a clean one, not talking about the fractal. Not talking about our tinfoil hats. We'll take those off. We'll just peek at the daily here. I know that we are now definitely under the 100 daily. Not great. But we said this could happen. I will say this. This has blown my mind that it didn't actually reach the 20 weekly. We still haven't tested the 20 weekly. Still is wild. This is just wild to me. Today, the 20 weekly and 200 daily have crossed. And that is a bearish cross. To remind everyone, that is a death cross. It's a bear cross. Below us is, as a reminder, a golden cross, a bullish cross. The 20 and 50 crossing bullishly. And so this has long been kind of one of two targets is, hey, we're either going to come down, test this bullish cross, or move up, test this bearish cross. It gives us a trading range of right there at 35,000. That lines up so well. So well. Up to 44.8. But that is going to continue to come down. Actually, let me revise that. Not really. The 200 is still trucking up. It will take many days of lower prices to move that down. Yeah, the 200 has not really started to curl down at all. And in fact, oddly started to pick up. Started to slope back up here with this rally. I didn't expect that. Spicies. Actually, I'm going to throw this on. I lost the chart. I have too many charts, man. I need a chart manager. Nope, not this one. There we go. So we look at it this way, and all of a sudden that pattern isn't so crazy. All of a sudden that fractal's like, hey, maybe that looks really good. So let's throw these on here. Check it out. Check that out. That is wild. Move back up. Reject. So actually in the last time we saw this in January, we had a slight retrace as well for a much higher low. I could see the 20 weekly coming down like this. So it'd be a fake rejection from the 20. Move through it. And you can see once it did that, it didn't. Oh, no, it did. Had like a day of back test. All right. I spoke too soon. Had a very brief back test before moving essentially vertical into February. There we go. So I think the sentiment aligns. I think the price points align. I think the pattern, the highs and the lows, and our moving averages. There's a lot of stuff going on here that I think is pretty cool. It even plays out with a lot of these crappier signals we've seen on longer time frames. Like on the daily, we talked about that yesterday. The daily, you're giving me gray hairs daily. Got rid of all my settings again. Screw you. All right. I'm curious to see, what was RSI like back there? RSI. Okay, peaked. Bounced right about where RSI is now. RSI is a little lower, and then it fell down to 43. Okay. Okay. So if we're saying right here is where that pattern started. I know I was going to move on from it, but I didn't think about this. Now I want to do it. If we're saying this pattern started right here. No. No. I'm getting confused. All right, so that's the high. And so we don't really have a high here. So the RSI doesn't look anything alike. There we go. There's my contrary evidence against what I've just pointed out. Cool. Q. Yesterday. This was yesterday's chart. Look at how close prices stayed. Prices barely budged from this descending triangle, descending. This is now starting to look more like a wedge, or more like a channel to me. Maybe I should put this up as a channel. And my watermarks are gone. Okay, there we go. So we're on the 1 hour. Let's throw this channel up, see how it looks. So we're going to use the channel thing a little jankily. There we are. A little jankily. Yeah, that fits. You see consolidation in the middle of the channel. It breaks out, fakes out, falls back in. Doesn't quite reach the bottom, though. I'm going to leave it there. And that's pointing right to where we're looking. Right down there at that 35. I wonder if lower time frames are going to give us... So what we're looking for here is this head and shoulders on the small time frames to play out, to bring us to 35 if we're following this. So what we should see on our small time frames now is signs of reversal. Low time frame, we're talking 5, 15, 30 hour. We should see signs of reversal because we want to come up to complete this pattern, back test that neckline. So that's going to take a move to the upside. So I actually haven't looked. Let's see if that's the case. First, we'll use our visuals, our eye indicators. Oops. We'll use our eye indicators, right? What's that? You're just going to look at it. Step 1, look at it. Welcome to YouTube. That's how simple you have to be. We're going to use our eye indicators here. Just look at it on the 5 minute. Does this look like something that is increasing in momentum or decreasing in momentum? What do you guys think? Love the chat. What's up? 250 watching. Just looked for the first time. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Screen is too zoomed in. What does that mean? It means too zoomed in. It's as zoomed in as it always is. Not zoomed in enough, too zoomed in. Increasing, says Joshua Janes. I'd be curious to why. Why would you say increasing? I'm not saying it wrong or right. But to me, so this is what I see. We have something that fell. Here is the highest point in our momentum. And when I'm talking about momentum here, I'm talking about negative momentum. Sorry if that's confusing. To me, this is the strongest negative momentum that we see right here since we reached kind of this high over here. There's a little clips of it, little drops, but we don't see anything similar to that. This is by far the largest, quickest drop. So my mind goes, hey, here's the highest momentum. And until we see higher momentum, meaning you see something like that, that's more negative momentum, then momentum is decreasing. This is the way I see it. So this is where it looks like it apexed. You can see as price has moved down, and in fact, right here is kind of where it looks like it changed its mind to me. It was slowing, and then here is really where momentum seems to have lost its luster, lost its tune. We see price is starting to kind of get pushed together. The highs and the lows are less exaggerated, and in fact, okay, now that is a lower low, just barely. I was going to say maybe we don't even have a lower low. I guess potentially right here. There you go. Potentially right here, we don't even have a lower low. could be going for what is essentially the first higher high here locally. So regardless, I mean, if you're bearish or bullish or whatever, we're just looking at the 5 minute. No matter what this shows us, this is only really going to impact, I don't know, maybe the next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of trading. This is not going to set the trend for a bull or bear market, no matter what we see here, just so you guys know. I see a loss of momentum. I see it apex, and then I see it wane off. And we see that here as we're getting kind of that cupping, scooping. So far, just using our visual indicators, it's kind of what we were looking for. We're looking for a short time frame reversal. It's not a very high price target, so it doesn't have to be a very strong reversal. Let's put that target on here because that's going to be important to this. There it is. So we don't have very much to go. I'm only looking for like right here. See on that hourly. Yep. So we'd see maybe this is even right shoulder technically. Fell through. Now we're looking for this zigzaggy, the Z. And if we see a rejection there, then we're looking for the downside. So we're going to go back to the 15. Let's take a peek. Money flow just flipped over. Cool. I don't see super signs of strength there yet. Actually, I didn't even look at my indicators on 5. Hard call there to say bullish. 5 does not look like it's slowed down on momentum, at least on our indicators. You can see these are barely able to even have positive momentum here. But our lows have come up since this started selling, so that is a loss of momentum in some way. RSI is floored here on the 5. This is our lowest point in RSI. Where's that in price? Whew. All right, so we have just over and over and over again bullish divergence on these lows. This was our lowest point in RSI in the 5 minute, right here, and we can see price continued to go lower and lower and lower after that. Never got lower in RSI. So that's bullish divergence on the 5 minute. Cool. We see that here as well. Same thing. Biggest swing low up here, not the biggest swing low in price. So this, I think that there's some arguments to be made. This isn't perfect. Certainly, oh, that's 85 minute. What? How did I get in the 85 minute? That was weird. 85 minute looking decent. Was that 85? Weird. I've never looked at the 85 minute. Everything I just said was about the 85 minute, not about the 5 minute. Okay. Cool. I was going to say that looks very odd for the 5 minute. All right. Here we go. 5 minute looking a lot more. Man, I was like, am I totally wrong here? 5 minute looking a lot more like we would expect now that we're on the 5 minute instead of the 85 minute. We have our lows coming up on momentum. Our highs are coming down as well, but we're still moving to the upside. VWAP showing some weakness, but it's still a higher swing high, or at least equal to the previous one. Again, we're not looking for a super bull signal. We're looking for a very short term rally. And maybe we've already kind of gotten it during this live. Momentum's still up. Cool. There we go. I think we still have that same... No. Maybe bullish divergence there. It's not enough to call. Let's go to the 15, see if we're seeing something similar. 15 minute. Exactly what I would expect. Man, this is great. This probably makes me look smart, even though I stumbled through this. This is... I'm happy, but this is like actually what I was expecting to see, and I did not know. So on the 15, we saw money flow trend down. Right here was our signal with our lower low in money flow. And we saw the lows come down, or our lows come up. Here. Our highs are crappy as well, but it's finally, after another lower low, we're back in positive money flow, and our VWAP is now making a new high, at least according to the previous one, still looking to beat this. So the 15 minute is also showing signs of reversal. Cool. That lines up. Momentum's up. Cool. We're seeing our highs come up on the 15, our lows come up on the 15 negative. RSI is not helpful. There's just freaking divergence everywhere. Okay, let's look at the 30, see if that's reflected. 30 is so ugly though. Woo. So maybe this is the perfect example. Maybe that's it. So 5.15 showing some upside. The 30 here is pretty darn ugly. This is really ugly here. That looks like that actually looks like the 8 hour positive momentum. I don't want to confuse you. But we have a really, really small bump in VWAP, and now it's trending up. If it can break these highs of the previous 3 or 4 flips, we're going to see some money flow drain. We're going to hope it gets above this previous low in the third today. But that doesn't really matter for what we're doing, what we're looking for. We're really just looking for a really small time frame reversal to backtest a price that we're basically at now. And then we're looking for a rejection. So what we might also look for, this is like a learning lesson today. What we might also look for here on this neckline backtest, we might look for bearish divergence on that high on small time frames. If we see a little rally up to there, and then our RSI isn't as high, or MACD isn't as high, but our price moves higher, that would be a great signal. I'm teaching you guys to trade today. That'd be a great signal. If we saw this come up, we're looking for this pattern to play out, bearish divergence right where we want it, that's going to make a very strong case for this head and shoulders pattern. Sweet. I have pretty good confidence in this. The only skeptical part I have of it is I wouldn't typically call this a shoulder. I wouldn't. So what we could see is actually a higher move up. We're seeing that on small time frames, but it kind of gets sketchy as you zoom out. So we could see a higher move up to then come back down and play it that way. That might even fit really well. Let's put our trend lines on. Nah, trendline isn't a fan of that. Just not a fan of that as a shoulder. For this, it's going to be we're just going to call it that for this. But I'm also not used to TA on like the 5 minutes, so that's also a reason. I don't usually do this. Just for you guys, so you can see what I would do if I did. Oh yeah, that hour is so ugly, man. Look at that. So now that we're seeing these medium time frame 30 hour, we're seeing they're pretty ugly. It would take a pretty big fake out right now to just have this snap back up. I don't see that happening. This is definitely in line with what I would expect to see with the pattern we're looking for. This is almost too good of an example. We were talking about RSI a lot in the last few days, and here's an example of what we don't like seeing if we're bullish is RSI just chilling down near oversold. Not making any moves to the upside, really remaining oversold. And we're on the hour, so this is like hourly a bearish trend. And of course, that's what we see. Perfect. Perfecto. Now as we get out to maybe the 4 hour, daily, those aren't really going to interact with this. Outside of, I think logically we should see the longer, maybe the daily, 12 hour, those should look pretty crappy because we're expecting the short-term reversal, mid-term sell-off to line up with those longer time frames looking crappy. 4 hour looks good for the first time. Of course, it's just trying to make me look bad today. 4 hour looks pretty decent for the first time in memory. Wow. Cool. That's some pleasant news. This is an argument maybe against what we were just looking at. 4 hour really looks like rolling over here. You can see a very smooth loss of momentum. Market Cipher says, hey, we're some kind of bottom, some kind of local bottom. Maybe that's this. And RSI, though it is now low, that's really extended. So this hasn't, unlike the hour we just looked at, this hasn't ranged low. That's not good. It can come down low, but we want it to always move back to overbought, constantly moving back to overbought. All of this was crap. All of this was crap. These are all very bear trendish areas. RSI remaining too low. So this isn't threatening, but this is a really, really low swing low. And previous to a July 20th, this is going to be, no matter where this ends up, even if our fractal does play out and it comes all the way down here, RSI is going to drop through the floor. I don't know. There's almost no possibility that we don't have bullish divergence on it. I can tell you why right now. Because the last swing low that was this low is right here, July 20th. Price has to go below 29,000 to lose that bullish divergence on the 4 hour. Extremely unlikely I never use the word impossible because it jinxes you in crypto, but all but. Nothing is impossible. Some things are close. That is just not likely. It would line up though pretty well again with our fractal. We could see this play out. Let's see. I would like to really see it so it's clean, look like this, like that to 35. Find support through all of this traded volume and bounce. Here's your Bitcoin price prediction. This is my best fit right now. Not financial advice. Something I do want to look at. Then we're going to get to the chat. I'm going to get to the chat then. Something I do want to look at here quick is I want to look at volume profile. So I know from memory up here, we were kind of in a volume gap. Not a lot of traded volume at that price. And so I want to see where volume profile is going to tell us we're going to find support or we're likely to look for it. I'd put my money that volume profile suggests right here. And I actually do not know the answer, so we will find out together. Pretty dang close. Wow. Extremely close. Volume profile looking at 34. We're looking at 35. I think we're just going to take a box. When in doubt, make a box. That's what I always say. Boom. Pretty fresh. Pretty fresh. Oops. Pretty fresh fit. Nice. So so we see that pattern, let's say this, right? If we do see it, we're going to look for 35, but there always could be a wick, just as there were on almost every single piece of that move previous. Could be a wick down to that 34 instead, then move up. That's totally in the line of reality. For those of you who don't use volume profile, you'll see this orange line. That's generated by volume profile. And that's just telling you where essentially the average, densest, the median maybe volume is. Mode, I don't know. The mode volume. And when you see that at a price, it typically is an area where you'll find support or resistance if it's above or below you. That's pretty solid. I'm very, very surprised still. I'll say it again in this episode. We were looking for this pocket, even this pocket, for a while. I can't believe that this rally didn't at least just go up to the top of that pocket and come back down. That's very odd. No textbook TA on that, I don't think. I don't think there's a standard definition for that. But in my opinion, that suggests that it's going to come back to test at a different time. If it was going to just do this, I almost 100% believe it would move up to there, then do that. To completely fill this pocket. Volume profile is a great tool. Better than regular volume. I don't even really use regular volume. I think it's like kind of worthless. What you can kind of see as price moves down here is this volume profile scooping up. You can kind of think of it as it descends, the more volume there is, the more support there is to be. There's more likely support there, I guess. So we weren't likely to find support up here, says volume profile. We are likely to find it down here, says volume profile. Just another tool, not a magic bullet. All right, there we go. That's all I wanted to look at. Volume, the VEEP. I'm going to leave this little projection on. Yeah, leave this projection up. How did it go? Something like this. It was similar to that. All right, now I'm going to pop open the chat, see what you cats are talking about. Hi. Do some shout outs. 330 watching. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, it's not the 500 that we had 600 yesterday, but these are 330 of the best, so I'll take it. 100 likes and 330 watching. Who? This is not our audience. Who's here? Who are these viewers? Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Please hit the like button. Por favor. The more people who like the stream while we're live, the more people YouTube shows it to. Get new faces in here. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I'll go shout out all the people who subscribed as well. Brett123, Magic M, and Jupander1. You're the only people who subscribed during this live, it says. I'll take it. Welcome, fam. Everyone else who hasn't, do that as well. Subscribing also counts as engagement. And engagement is what YouTube uses, let's say, to gauge if it should show your stream to more people. So do that. Help out the stream. Discord link is pinned to the top of the chat. Join Discord. It's the best way to keep up with our live streams. You know, trade alerts, chart chat, TA. After the stream, I always put up that day's chart in the Discord afterwards, so you can follow along, so you can call me out if I'm wrong. I'm not a person who's afraid of being wrong. And last, as I pull up the chat, this is it. It's the 3rd of August. It's early in the month. Sign up for Patreon. Check it out. Trade setups, technical analysis, exclusive video content. We've already given up. We've already posted 2. One of the videos today actually was part of it. But that was a teaser. You're not going to be getting them if you're not a patron. So check it out. And now I'm reading the chat. Love you guys. Let's see. We got 50 likes from that. All right, I'll take it. Zero Hero. You couldn't find any news on ADA today. Did it pump? It's funny if it did, because the monthly was looking solid. To be honest, ADA really hasn't pumped today. It's not a bad candle. We have 2.5 hours to go. Hasn't really gone anywhere. I think it's likely to close lower. It would be awesome if it ran. I'm not against that idea. But if you look at these dailies, it's, we have these lower highs. We've had these wicks before, so to see that sell off wouldn't be crazy. I will say the one difference I'm seeing is today's daily with the bottom wick, this long bottom wick. We don't see that on either of these fake outs. The top wick's much larger. And in order for that to happen, this would have to close about here, which would be a fine close. Actually, that'd be a great close. If ADA is closing above $1.31, I'm a happy camper. I'm a very happy camper. That's all you need. Just hold 131. Life gets good then. Ooh, actually, all right. All right. So ADA is looking better and better. It's been in this situation. I'm already ran. I barely even got to do shout outs. I'm sorry, fam. Dude, look at it in BTC pair. Look at that, bud. Right off. Right off of 30-ish. I'll have to look at that video. In the premiere today, we talked about ADA. I don't know what the price point was. That video was made on the 1st. I have a feeling, though, that we called it. I have a feeling we called it right before this bump. Let's get rid of all this junk. Now I'm curious about ADA. Sorry, fam. All right, so this is, we got some solid things going. Here's my only issues. In the immediate term, these aren't long-term issues. 1, you have daily resistance from July above you. Swing high in July. And that is overlapped with now the 100 daily moving average. That is the one that Bitcoin just got rejected from. Not great. That's going to be some hard resistance to get there. This is $1.46. Not impossible, but it's not a clear path yet. 2, now we're on to the good things, because there's more good things than bad. Check out this candle. Without your moving averages, this candle really just looks like, hey, it's the same as these other ones. It's not a big deal. Look at this. This is a kicker. This is 2.5 hours to go. We'll find out. This traded down intraday. It looked like a rejection from the 50. Then rallied up. How soon ago? How long ago did it do that? 9. Not bad. Intraday rallied back up. So what I'd really like to see today is, well, 1, let's close a dang candle above $1.31. 2, I'd like to see it break 31st of July's high there, $1.38. As long as you hold that 50, stuff's great. And so there's one more thing here that the new viewers won't know what this is, but our regular viewers will. I always do it this way so people can see it better. What do we have here, everybody? What do we have here? Who knows? We'll come back to it real quick. Surprise, surprise! On the 5-minute, we get that short-term reversal. Huh. Surprise. Who is surprised? I'm not surprised. Surprised with some guys. No. This is what we were looking for. We'll see. Who knows? The kissing pivotal mamang. Wet circle, very close. Golden cross. So golden cross is not actually the same thing. We have a death cross, a death cross. We don't have any golden crosses yet on the daily here. We have a term that I've made up, so it's okay. Don't feel stupid if you don't know what it is. I made it up because I needed a word for it. There isn't one. This right here. This is the 20 moving average the white. This is the 200, the green. So this is the shorter, this is the longer. And so basically what we saw here was the 20 and the 200. If we go back in time here a little bit, the 20 and 200 were threatening. 20 was coming down to cross bearishly. 200 was moving up. They were going to collide. They were going to cross bearishly. It was going to be a bearish signal. People could see it coming. It was not hidden. But right before they're crossing, this is actually one of the best examples of kissing. Right before they're crossing, the 20 started scooping up. 20 started scooping up. Scooping. This is bullish kissing. The same can be said if this was happening in the reverse. This would be bearish kissing. 20 was looking to cross bullishly. It rejected crossing, I like to say. And in this case, that's bullish. And what we can usually do with this is we can make a really solid price point for a trade. Now, you guess at this point, you might have to already have been in it. But what we can do is say, okay, we have the 20 and the 50 below us. That's at 121, 123. If price goes below there, then the 20 is going to start curling down again, and they are going to cross. They're going to cross bearishly. So we can say as intelligent traders, maybe that's where I look to stop. If I have a position I'm not feeling comfortable with, I could look for breaking of the 20 or the 200 as a stop. And what we found is when you get this kissing, in the rare event that price moves through it again, so it reverses, dumps through it, those tend to be good stops right at that price point where they kissed. So actually, I'm loving it. I'm loving that ADA. This box is not that I think it's going to hit it. It's just to remind me this is where they are. Cool. That looks great. Daily, oh, no wonder. So it still needs to close this way, but we have a nice little positive momentum fake out. Momentum started to wane off and out of nowhere, pop back up. That is usually very bullish if it closes that way. That makes sense because we have bullish divergence here on our low. We broke our high in July, so we will have bearish divergence if this gets rejected, right? Yes. Unless ADA moves above $1.46, then we're going to have bearish divergence on our RSI highs. But from this bullish kissing, I think that's where it's heading. That's a beautiful bullish kissing. I'm glad I got sidetracked. Being on top of the 50 after a kick, like a kicker like that, man, this is a fancy chart. So really all I'm worried about is right here. All of this noise, I don't care about. 146. If ADA breaks 146, yes, it has other resistances above it, but it will have shown me that it's ready to go. If it breaks 146, it'll likely do something like this. Back test the 100 move. Look for that retrace probably up to here. Probably do something like this. Could reject there. ADA looks great. All right, I meant to read chat. I didn't. My bad, guys. SLP, please. What's up, JV? Barcella, welcome. Steagen. Still have 20 minutes to go up. For what? I have to catch up on the chat. Multicultural cooking. What's up, my friend? New to crypto. Bitcoin go to 100K. Is it true? You're about to invest all your life savings? Please help. Stop what you're doing, man. Stop what you're doing. Never invest your life savings in anything. Any single, I mean, if maybe you buy a house or something. But no single stock, coin, whatever. Diversification is the pillar stone of success. Will Bitcoin go to 100K? I believe so, yes. But that does not mean that you should invest all your money. This is all my opinion. I don't give financial advice. But look into DCA. Look into dedicated cost average. That's what you want to do. Instead of all in, which is literally the worst investing strategy ever. Yeah, there you couldn't design a worse one. Selling high, buying low is probably better than all in. All in is one of the hardest, maybe the hardest situations in trading to put yourself in. Not a lot of success there. I don't do this usually while I'm streaming. But for you, my friend, just in hopes that you don't do what you just said. Hey, there's the guy that, oh wait, never mind. I thought it said dollar cost average was his name. It doesn't matter. Dollar cost average, dedicated cost average. They both are okay. They're both the same thing. There, I linked you. Multicultural cook. I'm even going to at you so you know that's for you. There you go. Check out that video. Please do not throw your entire life savings into anything. Period. I think it's going to go to 100K. The problem is you put your life savings into it and it goes down, I don't know, to 20K, 15K, 10K. You're going to sell it, lose all your money, and then it's going to go to 100K. So don't do that. Enter slow. All trades, all things in life are best done with discipline and planning. What's up, Mother Gaia? What's up, dudes? Looking for 100K life. What's up with these people saying 100K life savings? Subham sign TSI info. I don't know what that means. Renee Silva, what's up, my friend? Enzo Lizama, you're a noob. There's lots of noobs here. If you're a noob here, guys, subscribe and join our Discord. There's a lot of educational content on there. Get to keep up with our live streams. We're all about the educations. Ethereum. Where is Ethereum at? Oh, yeah, we'll peek at Ethereum here, but look at where we are. Look at where we are. Now we're going to look for bearish divergence on this high.
Is SafeMoon a scam?
We don't have it on the 15. Just eked it out. Hold on one sec. I'm looking something. Dang, we don't actually have it. We don't actually have bearish divergence. That's weird. Maybe that'd just be too good. Maybe that'd be too easy. But so far, so good. All right, what did we got F to pull up, and then someone asked, what's up, Hendo? Thanks for the 5, my friend. Is SafeMoon a scam? Depends what you mean by scam. That's important. If you'd like to know, would I invest in SafeMoon, the answer is no. I would not. A scam, though, can be many things. Is it like, I don't know, they steal your money, like in the sense of they take your coins or something? Maybe not. But that doesn't, that's not the only aspects. It's not the only consideration. I would not buy it. That's my 2 cents. That's my opinion. Everyone's welcome to have their own. Womp, womp. Oh, Ethereum, what are you womping around for? Jeez. This is a strange pattern. Ethereum right now looks okay. We're talking hourly time frame here. We did get our back test at 123. Get rid of this. We did get that back test here. We went through the upside target afterwards as we were expecting, but we got held down by that weekly resistance up here at 2,700. I'm not liking this Ethereum right now. For this reason, we have a very, I don't know what pattern. This is not a pattern I can identify right now. This is like a diamond. But we fell and then back tested, rejected. So if it loses 2,444, then I'm looking for this move. I'm not comfortable with this. But this is hourly. Hourly is not the future of Ethereum. You know, this could resolve down here and then move back up. Not looking super hot in these low time frames. But as long as it holds 24.4 here, it's probably just going to go back up. What's up, Tom? Thomason. What a beautiful name. Beautiful name for a beautiful man. What's up, Nancy Grady? Good to have you. Thank you, Multicultural, for subscribing. Enzo Lizama. welcome. I can't believe there's only so few people, so few subscribers, or YouTube's just not alerting me. It does that. Does that a lot. That's a Head and Shoulders, my friend. I mean, obviously, bro. Obviously, I see. That's why I drew that. Is because this has that neckline back test rejection thing, but this isn't a Head and Shoulders. It's not a Head and Shoulders yet, unless I mean, it doesn't have to be a Head and Shoulders to be a bearish pattern. Let's put it that way. This is like a weird way to draw it. This could be the head. This could be the neckline, and then you could call it that. But this is a very, this is like Frankenstein's monster Head and Shoulders, like Igor Head and Shoulders. It's like, then here's your right shoulder, break the neckline back test, and then you'd expect to see downside. I don't know. I would honestly not call that a Head and Shoulder. I would say that's probably like a reversal diamond-y pattern, because you have a higher high and a lower low back to back. Either way, doesn't look good. Does not look good, but if it holds this level, then it looks fine. It just really can't trade below there, or it looks like garbage on the 1 hour. And there it is, 5 minute. Are we going to be right or wrong here? Let's see. Mudassar Hamid, no. No, dude. Why would you spam a channel? Why wouldn't you just like go on the Discord and ask him and be like, hey man, can I ask people if they can join my channel or something? I don't know. Why would you send it 50 times? Who wants to subscribe to a channel where the creator just spams join my channel? Come on. Come on. Digital Nation, you learned a lot. Thank you for being a viewer. Dude, this is my passion. Crypto is my passion. I was here creating content through the bear market when no one was watching. I'll be here through the next one, whenever that is. Someone's ready. Corey H is ready. Because this is my passion. I love this. I believe. I've never believed in anything in my life the way I believe in cryptocurrency. I believe that it is the future, and that there is no future where it isn't a part of it. And maybe that sounds not so crazy now. That used to sound crazy to people. And so I made this channel because I want to share my passion. I want other people to be passionate about it as well. So it means a lot when people say that they've learned a lot or gained a lot of value, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I mean, yes, I want to pay my bills too. I want to eat, but I'm not a fiat person. I don't really care. As long as I have enough to pay my bills, I'm pretty set. I'm very curious if this is going to reject here or not. We don't have bearish divergence, so I'm not as confident. Maybe it is that scenario. You're kind of seeing that on the 4 hour. We'll find out. Cal J. What's up, Cal J? I didn't announce your thingy, as it doesn't do like half the time. Can you check XRP? I think it's coming back 61. How did your XRP trade go, by the way, man? Because I remember you were in one, and I'm pretty sure it just went up afterwards. XRP bouncing 70 cents. Ooh. This is on the 1 hour. Man, it's a 1 hour kind of day. You got an Adam and Eve here, right above what was resistance at 70 cents, and now be tested as support, being tested again. That's a nice little double bottom reversal pattern. Again, I think I said this last time. Did it actually reach it? No, it only went to 77. We were looking for 79. Same thing as you hit the 79, and that's where the question is. Very, very likely to come up here. You probably got yourself a good trade, bro. Again. Doesn't look quite right. Stop on this is so easy, too. You just look down here, 69. Like, really just under 70. Where did this touch? 70. What were you looking for? You think it's coming back to 61 cents? Well, I mean, of course that's possible. I think for now, the trade on this is clearly this. Not financial advice, only opinion. Clearly, that's the trade right now. Why? You're at support. Yeah, you've tested it. You've weakened it, sure. But you're at support. You don't go short at support. This is where you look to go short. And the reason this is the trade is, yeah, because it can still break down. That's not impossible. But if it breaks down, your stop is so easy. Your stop is super easy. You just look, your lows are right here. The number is nice and clean, 70. If you don't feel comfortable there, you could be like 69, 37, something like that for a stop. I would probably take it much closer. I would look probably at that 70 cents and just take it at like 6984 or something random. But clearly the trade is long right now, this second. You do have, what's with this market and having really weird head and shoulders-y patterns on the hourly? It's like you could peg this as a head and shoulders, right? We could do that. But what we know then is, well, we'd expect a rejection to the downside, and then what we'd also expect is for it to come back and test it. So maybe that is where you'd look to go short, underneath support, underneath resistance. Technically, you could try there, but I think it just wouldn't make sense where price is at this moment to look for downside. You would wait for some kind of breakdown of that and some kind of back test. And until then, this is where you're looking. So 70 cents, man. Double bottom there today. If it goes there again, it's probably not a good trade. For our hour rolling over. 12 hour looks kind of ugly. You could be right. You could be right about the, about that 60. What were you looking for? 61? Yeah, I have 62 too. You could be right about that. I still think, though, even if you are, I still think it's going to go to 79 first. Complete kind of this weird thing. I don't know what to call it. Yeah. But good eye, man. I'd never look at XRP, like, unprovoked. And every time you've looked at it, you've asked me to look at it, I've liked what I've seen, at least from a trading point of view. Like, this is on the hour, but that's a freaking Adam and Eve on the RSI. Not bad. I think you're betting up until 70 cents breaks. It's at 71.5, so that's really close. It's only 1%. Wow, this room is heating up. It's because we're so hot. So hot. Okay, what's going on in the chat? I think I got all the super chats right. What's up, Steven Benike? Good to have you, man. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for subscribing. Subscribe to you. Lucas Murphy, 12 years from now, Bitcoin is still here. Price is very high. Yeah. That's what the DCA is like masterful at. DCA is wonderful. I've talked about like every day this month because it's for new investors, even not, but especially for new investors, because you can then, if you go all in right now and price goes down, you're going to freak out and you're going to make a dumb decision. But if you DCA and then price goes down, you're probably going to be happy. You're going to be like, woot, I get to buy more. You're putting yourself in a win-win position, and that is honestly maybe the most important thing in trading. Your mental state sounds real wussy. Doesn't sound manly, but it's true. If you go all in and the minute it goes down, you're going to start panicking. You're not going to be able to think logically, and you're going to lose money. So you want to set yourself up, I say, for win-wins. You're good if it goes down, and you're good if it goes up. DCA covers both those situations. Put this trend line back on here. I knew that there was something there. There it is. It looks like it's going to break back up. It looks like it's going to do that. A 5-minute TA. Never. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't try it at home. All right. Rachidata. Dan Stanley, if market cap of AMC is calculated for AMC of 100K, that's so much money, dozens of times bigger than Apple. Should I rant again? I'm trying to get through the chat. What's up, Hendo? Dan Stanley, Sorter, Diamond D, Crooks. Love the channel. Have you ever checked Clover Finance? I have not ever heard of it. Yeah, Vesemir, right on board with you, man. Mother Gaia, Chris H, hello. Do I expect Link to settle down? I got a link alert this morning, so I'm going to actually open it. But I'm going to keep reading the chat. What's up, Julia Shote? I'm sorry if you wrote that a while ago. Beans is doing excellent. Beans is doing excellent. Very happy about that. It's almost as if like she's like back to pre-operation energy, zoomies, you know, the goodies. Things are good. I was worried. She was all dogs on drugs, prescription drugs, are scary and funny. You're like, you laugh at them, but then you're also, and then you're also like, I don't know. This. I hope you don't stay like this. Take a microscope out, find out any chart through that. Maybe I'll look at a link here. Just give me a min. I want to catch up with chat. I'm so zoomed down. I gotta scroll so much. There we go. I see you, Cal J. You don't need to, yeah, I'm reading. God, yeah, Cal J. I'm trying to read the chat. I love you, dude.
Hey Tom, would you be able to look at CHSB, as I flip between CHSB and ETH? I wonder if it has any pumpamentals in its alternative pairings as they tend to reflect in its USD value. Many thanks.
Terrence McKenna. Well, my friend, anything not USD pair, always welcomed here on this channel. Always a treat. I say this a good amount. In my free time, in my non-streaming time, I don't look at anything in USD pair except for Bitcoin. That's it, period. Nothing else. We can look at, is this at CHSB? Yep, we can take a peek at this. I wonder if it's pumpamentals. So I can describe you, I don't believe in pumpamentals. I can describe to you what you're experiencing, saying it seems reflected in USD. Well, ETH is essentially along the lines of everything else in crypto. Certainly, it's the second largest, so if any are an exception, probably is ETH, but it's not. Maybe someday it will be. Bitcoin is essentially like the dollar in crypto. It's the stable coin. It's like what the rest of the market's pegged to. Everything else moves around, but Bitcoin moves around less. It's less volatile. Everything else kind of orbits. And so Ethereum going up in dollars. Wait, am I getting confused? Ethereum going up in dollars. I mean, all right. It doesn't have to necessarily happen that way, but it's because the market has been rallying, I guess. Because I was going to say, actually, a lot of the time, things will go down in USD value and up in ETH or BTC pair. Anyway, let me get sidetracked. You guys are getting me so sidetracked today. It's all your faults. Let's take a peek. Just get to the charts. It's easier. Huh. We did not come all the way back to 000218. I don't know when we looked at this last, probably months ago. Probably back here. Early June. Consolidating above support. This is maybe looking actually like that similar Adam and Eve. I have so many tabs up, my computer's starting to get slow. It's starting to look actually maybe similar to that Adam and Eve. This is much larger, but this is the same pattern. You have a V-shaped recovery that then is followed by a low volume, essentially double bottom, doesn't have to be, rounded, low volatility. Actually, we're going to pop on volume for a rare time. Never put on this volume. There it is. So that fits. We have a super high volume here. We can see our average volume is increased and hasn't really returned to that. This is, that's looking like a reversal. It's looking like an Adam and Eve. Adams and Eves. Let's zoom out a bit. Let's zoom out way more. Month just closed and the week just closed. Let's look at those first. All right. Hum diddy hum dum. Hum diddy hum. Stuck below 618. Well, I mean, it looked great here. You had resistance, back tested as support on the monthly, set a new high. You didn't come back here to support, but you have anything here? Yeah, this is not the greatest here on this high. You have a little bearish divergence on the monthly. Your momentum's still moving down, but this is the monthly, and the monthly moving down doesn't mean that in the next days or weeks it doesn't move up. Let's see if the weekly looks any better. Same bearish divergence on your high. Very weird. This is positive. Similar to Bitcoin, and not many other coins have this on their chart.
YouTube famous BTC King of Kings, protector of the crypto realm, first of his name, Big Daddy Crown, all you need is EGLD.
Where you been, Josh? I feel like you haven't been here for any of the streams. I know like in last week you had stuff. Thank you for the 10, man. We'll look at EGLD. It was actually in the video earlier today. Not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan of that on the weekly. I like that the momentum's all but gone here on the sell side. You're going to watch in the next few weeks for that to flip. That's what we're going to want to see. Ooh, all right. So here's a redeemer. On the weekly, you have bullish divergence on your low here. Maybe canceling out that bearish divergence on your high. Maybe, hopefully. I'm going to have to turn on the dang air conditioner in here. Oh my god, I'm starting to sweat. I don't know if you guys can see it. Finding support on the 100, cool. Man, this is hard. When things move sideways for so long, what they're doing is they're kind of crunching your indicators. They're crunching your oscillators. They're bringing the highs down and the lows up. And so you get less exaggeration. And so you get less divergences, you get less kind of signals. All right, at least on the daily, you're on positive money flow. Your money flow looks good. So if you're talking about like what you're doing today, short term, as long as you don't mean like scalp, I don't know, within like quarters of percents, daily's looking for some more upside. We haven't seen it twist yet, so maybe it's going to look to retest the bottom of kind of this range it's at, which would be right around here. Let's get rid of this crap. Maybe there. So you can see it come a little lower in the ETH value. Maybe like 2,700, but it shouldn't be too much lower, so I wouldn't worry that much there. But that daily is looking pretty keen. You have bullish divergence if it reverses here in your daily RSI, which is unusual. This is a weak bearish divergence it's coming off of. Wow, okay, 4 hours janky. This is a very sideways chart. You have just a good amount, solid amount of consolidation right here at this 27. I'd expect it to hold. If it breaks down, I'd say 25 or lower, I would be out. But I'd look to see a move to the upside here. Like I said, maybe trade down to 2,700 sats. Anything below that, not gonna be too excited about. So here, probably looking for 3,000 to, I'm saying sats, they're not sats, 3,000 to 3,100 for a short-term play. I'm still looking for that 5,000. I still think, this was months ago, I thought it was going to hit 2,100, then move to 5,000. I can tell that's what I was looking for. At the break of this trend line, we didn't get it. I think this chart looks solid, man. I don't know if you're in like a hold position or what. I don't know if you're in like a scalp. I should probably read the chat, but you guys keep distracting me. One sec. That's an ISO Tuesday. I don't even know what that is. Shock the supply. What's up, crypto world? Nibras Jafari. Yeah, you know what? I will say I have not been a BCH fan in my days. There's our short-term time frames showing us some reversal playing out. People doubted it at the start of this episode. But BCH. Not. I haven't been a fan. I've been pretty vocal about that. I don't know what that dude's doing, posting like a 12-word thing. Do not mess with it. There are, it sounds weird, there are scams that involve that. It's like they give you a seed phrase to like a wallet, and then the wallet has some kind of like contract on it. So they'll like, maybe there'll be coins on it, but then maybe you have to transfer gas there or something to pay the fee. And then when you do, it just sends it out, just steals your money. But yeah, don't trust anyone who gives out a seed key. That's shady. Jessica B, you're the GOAT. Thank you, darling. Great to have you here. Tom G, what's up? Still gotta do Josh's. I still gotta do Cal J. Wait, no, Cal J's I got. Cal J, let me read the chat. Cal J got in at 59, sold half at 47. Well done. Oh, it was 50x. Ugh. If you look, 61 cents falls nicely on the fib. Yeah, and so like again, I really wasn't I wasn't saying that isn't gonna happen, because you could, like I said, have this, and this could be a back test. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense quite yet to look for that. Doesn't make sense quite yet. You double bottomed here today at 70 cents. Psychological, ends in a zero. This is just where I would wait. I would wait for that to break to bet on 61 cents. And until then, you're at support. I'd bet on 79. Really what that might mean for you, though, dude, is just, change your position. Shibley, welcome to the fam. Thanks for subscribing. Turn the air. I'm going to get up a second. Bitcoin Atlas. Bitcoin breaks up now. Long. Well, I wouldn't yell long. EGLD. Those are some old traits. Ugly traits. Wouldn't say long 100x ever, to be honest. Never. But I like the enthusiasm. E. Carlson, what is up? Joshua, blessing is a bot, spamming about some crap coin. All right. Denad Wirtz, go to BTC. Something happened. I feel like you guys are looking at different charts than me a lot of the time. I don't know what charts you guys are looking at. Bitcoin hasn't moved yet. Yes, please. TLM updates. What? General Crypto Face. I like that name. 200 likes, 350 watching. Cool. Good stream. Good stream. Do you think it's getting into Icon? I think Icon looked all right on the monthly. Okay. Craig Bowen, dude, right on. It's like Craig said, someone trying to give you their seed key is like a guy walking up to you with a new phone trying to give it to you for $20. It's like there's something, it's shady. Don't take that phone. Like whatever it is, don't touch that phone. It's probably a scam. Nobody, like, no one's that stupid. Just no one's that stupid. And if they are, for every one person that's that stupid, there's 9,999 scammers doing that. So it's just not even worth it. Like, just don't get involved. Oh, wait, we're talking about BCH quick. So I'm not a huge BCH fan. I never have been. I've been vocal about it. However, recently, and actually this started with BSV, when BSV was created. So the reason I didn't like BCH is the community it's just so tribal and hated. It's like, I don't know, just too much toxicity coming towards Bitcoin and towards like anything. And I'm just not that type of person. I don't believe in tribalism in crypto. But since BSV came out, their community really was very different, behaved very differently, and in my opinion, much better. It kind of stopped having negative feelings towards it. And honestly, I think the rebranding is wise. I think it's wise for them because they tried the "we are Bitcoin, you're not" thing. So did BSV. It doesn't play, and it just kind of confuses people. And so to switch the name up, and then to switch the name up is a really great step towards just creating their own identity. Like creating their own, like, this is who we are. Yeah, we're not just like we hate Bitcoin. I think it's a positive. I think it's a positive thing. Josh, I don't know how this chart is still here. Oh, it's May. Never mind. I'm thinking something else. I don't know how this chart's still here. Let's see. On the dailyo for Josh. Man, that's not great. A little bearish divergence here on the daily high, but today's candle hasn't closed yet. Ooh, you're above the 20 and the 50. Okay, here's something I like. We'll start with the I likes. I like this. This is rare. You don't see this often. That's very rare. Looks like the 100 daily kind of rejected price here. You had that crazy event, I think, down to 95 bucks. Was that 65? 90, huh? I don't know why I have this line here of support at 95, but it does look like price is reaching down to it. I hope it bounces there. That would look like a pretty good consolidation. Test the, oh, actually, you know what this is? This would be an inverse head and shoulders. Wouldn't it? Not yet. Maybe. Looking like it, though. Wouldn't it be bad to come test this previous daily resistance as support? You get a bounce there. That's looking great. And I would say, honestly, I think that's likely. I think it's going to look to close above 97. If it doesn't, it gets uglier. But close above 97, you've held that neckline kind of support. You're building some kind of W. Maybe up to 125. But you're above the 20 and the 50 here. This is the good takeaway. This is important. Is this isn't even just like a kissing. This is like a double, triple, quadruple. I don't know. You don't see this often. This is really rare. Really rare to see these averages move like this. Let me get rid of it. Look at these. This is the 20 and 50 daily. They cross bullishly. They cross bearishly. They cross bullishly. 1, 2, 3. In 17 days. That's really rare. The fact that now the 20 is above the 50 is decently, well, that leans bullish, and price is above both. You can see it reacted out. Honestly, it reacted to it, rallying up there. I think that looks solid. I think it's just retracing. I think it's going to go back, test the 100, and likely test that 200. Huh. I don't like RSI on it, though. I haven't looked at this in a while. Wow, that weekly. Roll over any time there, bud. There it is. There we go. I knew there was like a head and shoulders-y pattern here. I knew it. Sometimes you just gotta find it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So what you're looking for is break, back test, 125. Boom. That could play out. It could play out. You're just looking to close a weekly above 95.30. Looking to close today, 97. Cool. One sec, guys. I gotta turn the air conditioner on. I'm dying. I'm dying. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, Nibros Jafari. There used to be a lot of tension between the two factions of BCH and BTC. And basically, I think the whole point I was trying to say is I felt that kind of fade away, melt away. I'm happy about that. I didn't like it. And ever since BSV, I've just found the whole community, the whole thing more agreeable. And I think a rebrand is a great choice. I think we've seen a lot of coins rebrand recently, and it's been really great for them. Matic, Polygon doing great. Rebranded. I think moving away from the BTC name is just, I think it's going to be in their favor. I really do. All right, let me turn on the air conditioning. I'm dying. Pump the like, says Chris H. That's right. Lucid, the new car company. Never heard of it. I don't know what they do. W pattern. Well, our short term, our TA from the beginning of the episode playing out. Still has not picked its direction yet. I think if we break this high that we first saw after our TA, I think if we break that high, we're likely going for the other pattern. For the breakup, then back test. We're close. We haven't gotten there yet. Rasengan. What's up, the Nine Tails? I love Naruto. Shout out to Naruto. Haven't watched that in forever. What was I doing? Is BTC breakout look at big? I don't know what chart you guys are looking at.
Create a diamond pattern, which is a continuation downside. I have a buy orders from at 0.62 to 0.598, which huge last order and will ride to $2. This will be my trade of the year if works.
Hey, Cal J, I hope that's exactly what happens for you, my friend. Hope so. I do, truly. I don't really care what happens to XRP. I have some XRP, but I hope that works out for you, man, for sure. Maybe just mincing words, probably what's going on here, basically, because I'm just talking about trade. Like from, if I were to take a trade this moment, that's how I would approach it. I'm not right all the time. I get it wrong sometimes. Not a lot, sometimes. But I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for the tips. And I really do hope it plays out for you. You know what? I hope it plays out for you so much that I'm going to do this. I'm going to put an alert here because at 75 cents, that's probably going to 74, like I said. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to set an alert and I'm going to say, congratulate Cal J. Sick XRP call. I was wrong. Smiley face. There you go. That's how much I hope it happens for you. Right there. I'll know. All right, Bitcoin, a little nudge the high, hasn't moved anywhere yet. What's up, Alp, Oozcan, and Robert Ruman? Well, thanks for subscribing, guys. Great to have you in our family. We're live here every day. So if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the like button for the new stream. Both of those things tricks YouTube into showing our stream to more people. More engagement gives us more reach. So I appreciate everyone who does that every day and those people who are doing it for the first time today. Check out the pinned links in the chat above. Patreon, still a great time to sign up for it. Check it out. If you're looking to invest in yourself, upgrade your trade. If you're interested in trade setups, technical analysis, macro market analysis, but really if you're looking for a learning environment where you're dedicated to becoming a better trader, I'd love to help you with that. So check out Patreon. And Discord, finally, I'll get rid of the shill. Discord, jump in the Discord. It's the 3rd day of the month. I don't know why I said that. Jump in the Discord, links up there as well. We get shadow banned a lot, and so a lot of the time, the only way to find our streams is by being in the Discord. I'll also put today's chart up there after the stream so you can follow along, call me out if I'm wrong, tell me I'm the best if I'm right. You can tell me I'm the best either way. I'm cool with it. There's also educational resources, so again, a learning environment, all kinds of stuff on there. So hopefully you guys jump in there. All right. What's up? Ecoms. You've been here the whole time. Ecoms is like the best. Ecoms won our clip of the week, by the way. Maybe I have to add that to the shill. I hate shilling. That's why I made that trailer to do a little shilling for me. We now have clip of the week. If you see below the stream, there's a little scissors pair and the word clip. Basically, all you have to do is you can go to past streams, current streams, future streams, is hit that clip button, select a video segment, try to make them relevant. You know, you want to get like specific pieces. Post them in the clip of the week room in Discord for your chance to win some Satoshis. That's right. $50 in Bitcoin. We may end up also offering it in like the Tom Crown coin. I don't know. That's TBD. Not for this week. I'm trying to be more firm, more structured on this because it was a little bit confusing last time. But basically, just send your clips in there. And next Sunday, the 7th, we'll announce the next winner during the live stream. So costs you nothing to participate. you can win some Satoshis. I think that's a pretty good deal, right? You know, would be a winning clip at some point. I'm not saying everyone should go do this. In fact, I'll say this one can't win because I want everyone to just go do this. A really winning clip, in my opinion, would be however I've shilled like the Patreon and Discord and liking and subscribing and stuff. The best one that I've ever done. Because if someone can find that, then I can just like play it. That'd be valuable to me. Next week, that one can win. All right. Clip of the week. What's going on here? How's chat feeling? It's a little chiller than it was. Maybe we're rejecting here. Kind of what we were looking for. I don't know what we were looking for. But yeah, Ecombs won. She's the best. She's the best. All right. World leading expert. Some strong fighting. Yeah, if you guys DVRs enabled, you can go back to the beginning of the stream. You'll see our TA on this. I don't know how long we've been live. I don't know and where it was when we started. But basically, this is what we've been looking. This is what we're looking for. We were looking forward to rally literally to 38,342, and then I'm still gonna stick with it. And then we were looking for a rejection. It's possible that we haven't really seen the right shoulder, so maybe we see a little bit higher. Maybe get to the top of this channel, fall down. But yeah, we were looking for short-term strength, kind of mid-short-term weakness, and then hopefully on the higher time frames we'll see strength again. We have a whole projection. You'll have to go back and watch. I'm not going over it again. What do I think of Algorand? I don't think of it very often. Shill game strong. Thank you, Nibras. Dude, if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't. But if I don't do it, nobody subscribes, nobody likes, nobody joins Discord, nobody joins Patreon. It's my least favorite part of the job. I love Ichimoku Cloud too. Maz Khan, dude, check out the altcoins. Check out the altcoins video today. Quantum is one that's on there that I think looks pretty good. Can we add volume signal to this chart, please? What, Joe DC? This is a genuine question. I'm not trolling you. Sorry, let me. My tone was about to not be the way I wanted it. On the 5-minute here for Bitcoin, what would you be looking for in volume? Say we had volume on. How would you use that in your trading on the 5-minute BTC candles here? What valuable information would you get from it? I'm curious what your answer would be. Discord is dope. Ecombs, you're the best. You're the best. Like, you're like shill assist. Love it. Hype woman. Crypto millennials, what's up, dude? Look at that breakout on that first VT chart. Take the breakout of the cut. See, battle on target for the flip. I think we looked at Ethereum, or did I say we were going to look at Ethereum and we never did? That does happen. Let me see. Is it up here? There it is. There it is. Back up. This is USD, of course, but there it is. Looks like it's held 24 as we were kind of speculating. If it did, it's looking good. Now it's just got to get through 2,500, and then you're looking for a retrace. But yeah, I'll pull up. I'm going to pull up the BTC pair here in just a momento. I just want to leave something here for myself. Yeah, you have a momentum rejection here on the hourly. Okay, where is my ETH-BTC chart? I wonder how long this alert will take to go off. Probably not. Okay, so what were you looking for? What were you looking for, Mr.? Why is my Streamlabs so crappy? It doesn't show that tip. What time frame are you looking at, cryptos? So you're looking at BTC and you take the breakout. Take that breakout to the cup and handle and see the battle on target for the flip. So it definitely depends on what time frame you're looking at. I'm going to do my best here. Feel free to clarify in the chat, though. Pull it up. Daily, there you go. Because you could be on like a 5-minute. So cup and handle. Are you talking about here? Because actually I saw kind of a cup and handle down here, too. It's like cup handle. 2 hour. Cup, maybe there's a cup. Konstantin Podolsky? Maybe. No one beats your BTC moon analysis. Watch that video 10 times. It's my favorite video I ever made. Not even gonna lie. Favorite video I ever made. Looks like BTC just broke. Let's bring this ethic chart over here. So cup and handle. Are you looking at like here? Cup handle? Are you talking? I'm sorry. I'm real. This probably feels like I'm trolling you. I'm trying to figure out where you're identifying the cup. Because like we could say like this is a cup and this is a handle. We could say that this is a... Nah, that's not a cup. That's pretty much all I can see on the daily, though. There's really no other spot. And on the daily, you can't really see it. Because it's just one candle. There's no cup really yet. Or no handle yet. Just cup. The triangle breakout. Okay. All right. I think I got you. So this is, we were right. We're looking for the macro. I like it. I think also I was confused is because 99% of the time people aren't looking at the macro. They're looking at like the 2-minute and they're asking me questions. Yeah. So here's my thoughts. Totally. I will start from the weeks. I crushed at the BTC in trading in the last year. This thing was beautiful. Beautiful. shameless patron shill. So do the patrons. We crushed this baby. So you're looking for, I guess I would say this is the cup, and then you're looking for a handle. Absolutely. Absolutely identifiable. So what I would then do next is I would use my fib retracement. I would use my fib retracement. And I would say, where does our measured moves? Where's our 1618? Where's our 2? 1618, I'm just going to go with this here's like, I've had this macro picture of a FBTC in my head for like a year or two now. For like a year or two. Forever. Point one. Previous 2018 high. 0.1. That's where our 618 is. So I would say, at least in my opinion, if we see this resolve as a cup and handle, which I think is actually pretty likely, I just don't know the time frame. I think we test 0.1. I think we do. I wrote this up here, the flippening, because Ethereum would flip Bitcoin and market cap at 0.15. I don't know if that's in the cards. That's a big move from 0.1. 0.1 is already a big move from here, which is a huge move from its lows back in 2019. Bitcoin's moving, boys and girls. All right, looks like our initial trajectory is likely off. Here's what I would guess now. I think we're still in course for that. I think we're on course for something like this. Find out. But it's moving. I set that way too tight. 38.7, and then I'll have to look at Bitcoin. I've been expecting 0.1 this in forever. We were going long on this channel. I don't know for you that were around. We were going long on Ethereum BTC at 0.021, 0.025, 0.013, or 0.031. And dude, we killed it. The only coin that I traded better in the last year than Ethereum was Doge. That's it. And that was mostly just, no, it was Doge. 044, 044, 077. I think 056, but that one wasn't like telegraphed. TP. We went long here. We went long here. Literally from 2.5 to 044. We've killed this thing. I'm getting distracted. So basically, I agree. I think we're going to 0.1. I don't know the time frame. Here's the thing I don't really like, though, and this is the only reason I've been a little skeptical, and maybe you've heard me say it on like around the blockchain, I don't know, other places, maybe here, is F's future right now is very isn't the word, is unclear. It's unclear, and there's some uncertainty. Long term, it's going to be fine. It's not a big deal long term. But the immediate future, moving to proof of stake and things, there's questions that we just don't have answers to. And that makes me a little skeptical. That wouldn't be enough alone. With this pattern, those two combined, not great. Because we're still below this descending trend. Now it could easily break up and screw me. I'm wrong. Cool. I would love that. But what I don't like is if you don't break through, you don't retest your high, and then you come down to test your low again, this chart's cooked. Like, how many more times can it flat bottom here before it just falls through the floor? The answer is probably not a lot. Not a lot of times. A lot of times. I just don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that flat bottom. I don't like the descending highs. The reason is because it looks just like Bitcoin in 2018. This is like 20K, this is like 17, this is 11, and then like, I don't know, this would be like 6.5 before it fell down to 3. That being said, Ethereum long-term is fine. Has a great future. I'm just I guess that's for me. I'm not selling my Ethereum or anything. Not changing my position. I'm just skeptical to add. And really, if I think it's going to 0.1, I'm very skeptical to add just to play that to 0.1. Because I'm not convinced it's going to surpass it. It definitely could. But I'm not convinced. We'll see. I hope so. Make a lot of money. I do. I loved this chart, man. This chart was bread and butter for months. It was such easy trading for so long. The levels here on the monthly were just like cheat mode. There's like a cheat mode. Just kept coming back. It would go to resistance, and then it'd come back to support, and go to resistance, and then go back to support. Over and over and over again. Beautiful. You never get that. It was too easy. It was too easy. And then it stopped at 0.77, which is like our second to last take profit target. So stupid. Not stupid. It's just like stupid that it worked, I guess. Something like that. There it is. Those are your price points, boys and girls. This is all you needed to know about Ethereum from roughly November, December 2020. That's all you need to know. 1, 2, 3, 4 values. That's it. It's done great. It's done excellent. 1618 is right 2.1. And just works. That's what I'm still looking for. I would love for it to keep going, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Chris. Was it Chris? Appreciate you. It deleted the crypto's millennial. That's what it is. So I think we retouch test 36.4. When did we do 36.4? Oh, this? This is such a question I get every day. Andrew Diber. What's up, man? Asked if we're going to 36.4. I said this is a question that is so typical of streaming. So he's asking about this low. And according to what we were looking at today, the answer would be yes, but if it follows that projection, we're actually looking for 35. But it's such a streaming question because I get things like this all the time where people look at like kind of a recent low and say, are we going to go back there? And usually, I'm not going to speak for you. Usually it's because they want to buy there. The problem is if we go here, you don't want to buy there. You don't want to buy that. This is terrible. You're buying a complete head and shoulders. That would not be a good spot, in my opinion. If it goes 36.4, I'll be looking for 35. Easy. Wouldn't be looking for 34.6. But maybe you have different reasoning. God, Doge. Beardy Day. You can come here and call me a scaredy cat. Well, I challenge you to a duel, sir. A duel. A gentleman's duel. But you won't be able to participate because you're not a gentleman. Love you, bro. It's feeling savage. Do you get royalties from them using my name in the movie? No. What's up, David Baltzer? Raven. Raven actually was in the video earlier today, too. How you doing, David? Raven was in the video, in the altcoin video released on the channel today. I don't do much alt content, so maybe you should check it out. If you guys want to see more alt content on this channel, the only way to convince me is people watching that video. So I highly recommend you do that if you want more. It's only 16 minutes. It's abridged. Here's the link. Watch it after the show. Raven was one of the decenter looking ones on the monthly. So let's take a peek. For Mr. Bouncer, I'll definitely look at it. I don't remember what it was I liked about it. And it might have been in USD, not in BTC. In fact, that's very likely. Maybe I should do that. Yes, in USD. See, this has got to be old. Sneaky market makers. Sneaking under freaking monthly resistance. Monthly support. Let's get rid of these. Here we go. Yeah, here we are. So this is what I was looking at in the alt video. And we have a solid monthly resistance. That was at 6 cents. Broke through it February 2021. Came back to it. Yes, you've closed these candles below. July and June. You closed them below. Closed and opened. Which is not comforting. But you're back above them. So as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty much just a support test. Monthly support test. And maybe at 0.5, because I see 0.5 here. We saw monthly consolidation, bunch of wicks. Psychological, just 5 cents. Maybe that's the support. And maybe it's a support zone. Oh, good enough. Basically, I think there's a good trade to be made here. I think there's a great trade to be made here. Wouldn't want to see a trade below 5 cents. Probably would look to enter around 6 cents. That's what I'd be looking for. Monthly. Yes, the monthly might be cool enough. 20 monthly. Not many things have a 20 monthly. 20 weekly off the 100. Weekly. All right, it's battling with the weekly 50 and weekly resistance set 7.3 cents right above it. A close above it on this week would be amazing. If you close above 7.3 cents this week on Raven USD, easily could see 11 cents. Easily 11 cents. I think more likely, I did it again. I think more likely you're looking at 14, but easily 11. That'd be solid. Are you going to break the monthly resistance? I don't know. 20 cents in crapshoot. But weekly momentum's waning off. Money flow is not perfect, but it's rolling back over. This whole chart looks to be retracing. It looks like it wants to retrace. There's not a lot in between, except for this weekly resistance. 7.3 cents. Maybe 8 cents is going to get in your way, but not as convinced. Yeah, you're looking for that 200, aren't you? 11 cents. I think this chart looks solid. I think it's surprisingly... Ooh, there we go. So it looks surprisingly good for the rest of the market. It looks better than the rest of the market. Positive money flow. Bitcoin can't claim that right now. Higher low on your money flow on the daily. This chart is trending up. This chart's trending up. Don't know how long that'll take, but it's trending up. Now, is it a good short-term trade? I don't know. Didn't know. But it looks like a very solid long-term play. I'm going to readjust. There it is. I think Raven has a good future ahead. Ooh, man, we're losing. We're trending down on viewers. What time is it? It's almost 7, that's why. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Highly recommend you guys check out today's video, the premiere. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. What happened here? Oh, we're the first search result for Bitcoin Live. That's pretty right on. That's very right on. And crypto live stream number 1. So many number 1s. We're dominating the search results. Bam, chicka wham, chicka wham, wham, wham. Wow, we're number 14 for crypto. Crap, it's hard to stop. It's hard to like call it a day when you're killing it, right? I'm gonna show you guys this. I've been showing you guys it a lot. I don't know if you care or not. Probably don't. Don't care if you don't. Look away. This is a little tool that shows you where your video is ranking in YouTube search. And so you'll see like down here, it says there's like 2 numbers. This third one's a bug. It'll say a 2-digit number, that's like its score, and then it'll have a darker number, number 1, and that's where you show up in search results for that term. And you can see by these dark blues, there's quite a few, and there's a lot of number 1s. I'm very excited about that. For weeks, we just weren't showing up at all in search results, so that's a pleasant change. A pleasant change. All right. It's bugging out. Why can't I see? Like I said, we were gonna like kind of wrapping it up, and all of a sudden, red candle, just like yesterday. Just like yesterday. Yeah, all right, we're killing it. Now we have under 300 viewing. Looks like maybe my computer goofed up there for a second. Give me a sec. I'm doing some mental math. Let's end that poll quick. I haven't even ended it. Yeah, P. Oh, Moses. Blueberry slushies. Apparently this guy doesn't check his live chat. Danny K demands I check my live chat. Demands. He has one question, and that is, I guess he doesn't check it. Oh no, he asked me to look at Venus, that's why. I usually ignore people who just try to get me to look at a chart. Moses, I would recommend you go in Discord, ask some questions. Ask some questions of people that are in it. I can't endorse it. You mean, obviously I'm just going to say good things about it. George Robinson, welcome. Kirill Gusev, welcome. Anthony, this is not alerting me of anything. I'm trying to like troubleshoot in the background here. It's not doing what it's supposed to. I need to reset it. Bought 20 ETH. 461 in November. Goes down, you don't care. Right on, bro. Man of my own blood. I'm looking long term. Anyways, we got lucky on the time. Dude. Wait, Anthony. Is that the Anthony? Or, I mean, anyway, there could be a lot of Anthonys. Different icon. OnlyFans soon, Jessica. OnlyFans soon. Son of, are you really gonna now do it? You stupid Bitcoin. That's how I am with a lot of my positions. I bought them very low, and for a long time, they didn't feel good. At some point, they feel good. Really, no matter what happens with ETH, I think it's very unlikely. I think it's very unlikely for it to return like 400. Very unlikely. Very, very. TA on Hex, DCS and OFP. TA on Hex. We have $100 Hex minimum. I'm sorry. You think I'm trolling. Literally, it wouldn't be fair to all the other people who have paid it. People have paid that many times for me to look at Hex. They love Hex. It just wouldn't be fair. Screw you. I just changed this freaking... I just changed it, and now it's like playing out the way it originally looked like. Screw you, Bitcoin. You snarky snake. Let's rewind it. I think I've gone too far now. He's gone too far. There we go, I'll just leave it. Oh, this is the original, no wonder. Huh. Well, now that now that I undid it, it's gonna go back up. Whatever. Oh, Bitcoin, you're just full of surprises. I'm still looking for a rejection here. We could see that right shoulder play out. But for you guys know, I want it to break to the upside. I don't want it to go down. But that's just not what the chart was showing us. At least today in small time frames. Well, in small time frames, it said it was going up for a little bit. Then we got to the half an hour hourly. It said, nah, don't even worry about it. That's why we're looking for this. It seems like it's playing. Kirill to subscribe. Thank you, man. Welcome to the fam. Good to have you. Is it not a wedge breakout? I don't think it's a breakout. If you bid, I mean, the DVR is enabled, and when I end the stream, you'll be able to see it. All the TA for this. This is what we were looking for. Like, we were looking for it to reject at 38.3. What did I go to? 38.5. Less than 1% difference. This is what our TA was showing us. Didn't guarantee it. Didn't say this has to happen, but this is what it was suggesting. So it's not surprising. I don't think there was any breakout. Just following the pattern. Love you, Ecombs. Have a good one. Luna B, darling. As soon as Ecombs leaves, Luna B's here. Tag in. Good to have you, darling, too. Luna B, one of our more beautiful patrons. One of the more beautiful ones. Not all of us are beautiful. Not me. Not Josh. Ah! No, Josh is the most beautiful patron. He's probably not even here. All right. To be honest, this room did not cool down. What's up, Dino? This room did not cool down at all. It's probably 90 in here. So I think this is what we're gonna do. You guys know what we're gonna do. Jump in the Discord. Join Patron. Like and subscribe. And we're going to be live tomorrow. I hope you join us. You know what? I'll do this. I'll say this. Hex actually was in the video today. And it was only on the monthly. I didn't have great things to say about it. Unfortunately, on the monthly, it didn't look great. But I'll do this, Meng. If you are here tomorrow, DCS, and you remind me, I'll look at Hex. You don't have to give me $100. If you gave me $100 today, I would have stayed. I would have done it. But I'll do it tomorrow if you remind me, and if you're here, that's our promise. So tune in tomorrow, everybody. We're gonna be live. I expect to see you. It's mandatory. Discord mandatory. Subscribe mandatory. Check out the Patreon. If you're investing in yourself, now's the time. Market's getting hot. Oh my god. All right, DCS. You freaking all right, well, a deal's a deal, man. Deals. Deals. See where we're at on this chart. Look at it, USD. I forgot we can't. We can. It's on Uniswap. I'm gonna pull up all of them. You son of a gun, you did it. I'm a man of my word, and I wasn't lying. I've just always told people it's a $100 minimum. And many people have paid it in the past. Well, many, more than a few. And so it really wouldn't have been fair. Would not have been fair to do it for 5. And we'll pull up the ETH. Ooh. That was probably loud. Sorry, everybody. I almost just got booped in the face by the mic. 2 turntables and a microphone. Okay. We don't need this pair. We don't need the USDT pair. It's just less history, less volume. So I'm going to get rid of that. This is the last charts we're going to do, by the way. Hexagons. Hex. All right. On the left, we have it in USDC. And on the right, we have it in Ethereum. There's something important here you need to know, guys. When we're looking at this is these are on Uniswap, so they're charts. That's why they're a little sketchy, gappy. That's the word. They're on Uniswap. Volume isn't super high. I would love to be able to chart Hex on an exchange instead of Uniswap, but that's not possible at the moment. So let's look at it in Tether for Hex in ETH first because it has a longer history. And likely it has more volume. I'm not positive about that. I know on the monthly, this current monthly candle, or the last monthly candle, looks like poop. But you have monthly support.
Hex USDC Uniswap V2, please.
Uniswap V2. All right, I'll try. X U. This is all I get when I type it in. The V2. I don't understand the V2. This is all I get when I type in hex U. Let me scroll down. Yeah, this has to be it, because there's only USDC and USDT here on Uniswap, and there's no other options, so it has to be this one, right? I'm gonna go along with this one for now. I'm watching the chat though. If that isn't it, look at whatever it is. They won't be able to link. Upgrade to a paid membership. Yeah, pay for your trading view. Yeah, right. I have like the monster package on this thing. You want a USDC? I'll do USDC. I have the monster trading view package. I pay way too much. They should give it to me for free. How much? Think about that. How much advertising do I do for TradingView? All of it. All of the advertising. I'll take it from down here. Uniswap.hex. Am I about to get fished while I'm live? All right, I'll take the chance. I'll take it. Okay, at least for a familiar setting. I wonder why this isn't on TradingView. I don't have an answer. Actually, this looks pretty similar. Wait a minute. All right, close enough. For some reason I thought the data was different. Well, this one is cleaner. I'll give you that. This is a cleaner. These are cleaner candles here. Oh, I don't have my pretty colors. Well, 1.7 cents on the monthly. You have nothing. Nothing but 1.7 cents below. That's on the monthly. June, February, January. Yearly open 007. We're not gonna really have much on the monthly here. As I said, there's just green candles. Don't have anything else. So we zoom into the weekly for clues. We have a pretty defined trend. Pretty defined trend line. Stuck to it so far pretty closely. We have some levels on the weekly here. I still would take it from here. I don't know why I would take it from down there. So we look like we have some consolidation levels. Previous resistance tested as support on the weekly. A little bit higher. We have 5.3 cents. And we have just under 10 that we saw mid-July. Saw tested that level. Now we have the local area below us, 12.3. 12.3. Above us, we have the same. We're opposing resistance at just under 15 cents psychological level. That's pretty fitting of what you'd expect. Pretty fitting of what you'd expect there. Let me add some on my indicators. Okay. On the weekly, this is not superb, this RSI. I will say, I have to be unbiased, in all honesty, I like that RSI is trending high on the weekly. This is what we're looking for in a lot of things. 50 is way, way, way down here. If you can keep up here on RSI on the weekly, things are great. Something that does draw my eye and isn't the most ideal is you have lower highs in RSI with higher highs in price. That is bearish divergence. What you don't have, and you usually do, but what you don't have is you don't have any bullish divergence on your lows. You have ascending lows and you have ascending RSI lows. That would be better if you did, because that might counteract the bearish divergence. But in rallies, we see this happen over and over again. We've seen it 3 times here. They continue to rally. So you do have bearish divergence on your highs in the weekly. So this thing you want to be keeping your eye out for long term. Long term. On the day. Man, I don't have anything. It's actually surprisingly difficult to chart on a different site because I don't have any of my stuff. Moving average, moving average. There we go. I'm doing my best. Maybe this is why we charge 100 for Hex, because I have to set up a whole new chart. There we go. I'll take that. On the daily, actually, looking solid. Let's see where the 100 is. Looking solid following the 20 and 50s. Potentially here in the daily candle, retaking the 20. That would be great. That'd be solid. You got an hour and 1 minute to close above 13.9 cents. That's right where it is. I wouldn't like to see it close below today. It certainly wouldn't spell doom or anything. But if you see it close below today, that's likely you're coming back to that 12.3. Likely. If it close above, then you're looking pretty solid. You've almost tested your weekly resistance at 15 cents anyway. So that's not much of a call. Daily resistance at 17. All-time high at... I'm not really familiar with this chart. 21. So this is really your only level of resistance right now. This is your major one, 15 cents. Hex played pretty as expected, honestly. You had this descending trend, which we do love to see on this channel because they almost always break to the upside. You had this very smooth descending trend. We may have seen it break here. Really, this close today is going to be important, surprisingly. Today's, yeah, you want to close above that 20. If you don't, you're likely moving back to resistance. Let's see our retracement. I'm going to take it from this low. 0.5618 right here, right around daily resistance. Cool. All right, if you get a close above the 20, I think that you're probably going to retake 15 cents. I think if you close above the 20, you're looking for that 618 retrace, 0.5. That's 16 cents up to 17.6 cents. If you close below, I think you're going to come back, test 12.3. 12.3 holds, then you can actually start building a pretty interesting, you can start building a nice pattern there. If that holds and you break your high, you can have a pretty clear inverse head and shoulders. And the target of that would be hopefully some of our number. Hopefully 1618 right at our 0.5 retrace. Yep, that'd be my target. So if we get the opposite, we see a back test of 12.3. I'd be looking for our 1618 extension. Also, our 0.5 retrace from our high to our low, and that is right here, 16.5. Why do I not have my 2? There we go. And there we go. All right, this is spooky. This is like actually spooky. Okay. Just get rid of that. I feel like I see the future now. And this is the future. I think it'll come down to this close, as I just keep saying, because I'm trying to formulate in my head here. The path down to test 12.3 back to whatever 14. I think that you have a very high probability of breaking it then and moving to your 1618 and your 2. These are our measured moves we look for all the time. They also just so happen, and this is Fibalicious. This is Fibalicious, man. They just so happen to line up exactly with our 0.5 retracement from our high to our low, which is right here, and our 0.618, which is right here. They're virtually overlapping. To me, that says this is likely a very attractive zone of price for the market. Market wants to move there. That's pretty cool. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. You lose 12.3. You gotta hold what? Probably like 10 cents below you. That's where your 50 daily is. If you lose 10, then you may see just continuation of this pattern. You may see slightly lower lows and lower highs. And then 9.2. Here's where, for me, it'd be make or break. Lose 9.2. You're probably going lower. But that's way out in the future. I think this chart looks decent on the daily. On the monthly, I looked at the monthly at what the hex F on the monthly. Didn't look great. Didn't look great. Today's close, I think, will be pretty big for it, though. You're either going to make an inverse head and shoulders, or maybe you're just going to make almost a falling methods thing, you know? Like maybe on 2-3 day, like this. Spicy chart. I'll say it's spicy. I'll say it's spicy. I'll keep an eye. I'm going to watch. Oh, I can't set alerts here. I'm so disoriented by being on a different platform. Anyway, here you go. This is what I think the future of Hex has. Comes down to today's close. 12.3 below. 15 cents above. There you go. Hex don't need TA, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, DCS. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Moses. Yeah, you can join Patreon. Come in the Discord, man. Come chat in the Discord with people. Don't FOMO in. Fibs are largely self-fulfilling due to popularity. I mean, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but don't matter to me what. Doesn't matter what fulfills the prophecy as long as the probability is on our side. And that's a great time. That's a great place to end it. Appreciate you guys. Come back tomorrow. We're gonna have more TA. Get in the Discord. Get in the Patreon. Like and subscribe. Happy trades.